can you escape the relentless pursuit of the modern rat race? Or is it merely a construct of our collective imagination? Ponder on that for a moment. This is the modern maze we're talking about, the constant chase for success, for more, for better, in a world that never seems to stop or slow down. It's fast-paced, it's competitive, it's a survival of the fittest. The rat race, as we've come to call it, is no longer just a metaphor. It's an actual life scenario for many of us, a relevant and pressing concept in today's society. We're all running, racing, chasing something, be it wealth, success, power, or the elusive notion of happiness. We're entangled in this intricate labyrinth of ambitions and expectations. It's as if we're caught in a whirlwind of modern life pressures, often feeling like we're on a never-ending treadmill. We run faster and work harder, but does it feel like we're getting anywhere? Every day, we're bombarded with societal pressures to do more, be more, achieve more. The modern world demands us to wear multiple hats, juggle innumerable tasks, and still be on top of our game. But let's pause and ask ourselves, is this what life's meant to be? A perpetual cycle of running and competing? Is it even possible to step off the treadmill and carve our own path? Or are we destined to be part of this relentless race forever? These questions may seem philosophical, but they're incredibly relevant to our everyday lives. How we choose to answer them shapes our perspective of the world, our place in it, and ultimately our sense of fulfillment and happiness. In this maze of modern life, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. But it's crucial to remember that we're not just rats in a race. We're complex beings with dreams, aspirations, and the capacity to think beyond the confines of societal norms and expectations. So, where did this relentless race begin? Let's delve into history. The rat race is not a new phenomenon. Its roots are buried deep in our past. Now let's take a journey back in time to understand where it all began. The term rat race is believed to have originated in the mid-20th century. It was a period marked by rapid industrialization and urbanization. As people flocked to cities for work, life began to resemble the frantic, unending chase of lab rats in a maze, hence the term rat race. It was a metaphor for the futile pursuit of success within a repetitive, high-pressure job where one is constantly racing yet feels like they're getting nowhere. But if we dig deeper, we'll realize that the seeds of this race were sown much earlier. The Industrial Revolution of the 18th and 19th centuries played a significant role. It replaced agrarian and craft-based work with factory-based mass production, leading to the birth of the 9-to-5 work routine. This shift transformed the once flexible work-life balance into a rigid structure, with time becoming a scarce commodity. As societies evolved, so did the complexities of the rat race. The advent of technology and globalization in the late 20th century added a new dimension. Now, not only were people competing with their neighbors or their townsfolk, they were vying with individuals across the globe. The world became one giant arena, and the rat race turned into a global marathon. In the 21st century, the race has only intensified. Today, we live in a culture that values success above all else, often measured in terms of wealth, power, or status. And to achieve this, we're encouraged to work harder, faster, and longer. The rat race has become synonymous with modern life. Yet, it's important to remember that the rat race is not just a societal structure, it's also a mindset. It's a belief that we must constantly strive to outdo others, to secure a better position, a higher status, or more wealth. It's a state of mind that leaves little room for rest or reflection, for it's always focused on the next goal, the next achievement. This mindset, fascinatingly, wasn't always dominant. In many ancient societies, success was measured not by material possessions, but by virtues like wisdom, courage, or kindness. Work was not a race, but a means to contribute to society and personal growth. So the rat race is not just a product of our times, it's a culmination of centuries of societal and cultural shifts. It's a reflection of our values, our beliefs, and our aspirations. And while it may seem like an inevitable part of modern life, it's also a choice to participate, to compete, or to step aside and forge a different path. The rat race is not just a societal structure, it's also a state of mind. So the question we need to ponder upon is, are we running this race because we want to or because we believe we have to? John D. Rockefeller, a name synonymous with wealth and power, played a significant role in shaping the modern rat race. Born into a modest family, Rockefeller rose to prominence during the Industrial Revolution, becoming one of the world's wealthiest individuals. His story is often hailed as the epitome of the American dream, a narrative that champions hard work, perseverance, and ambition as the keys to success. But how did his rise to wealth and power shape the culture of the rat race? Rockefeller is best known for founding the Standard Oil Company in 1870. His business strategies led to a virtual monopoly in the oil industry, transforming the energy sector and the broader economic landscape. He introduced the 9-to-5 work routine in his factories, a structure that provided consistency but also demanded long hours and rigorous discipline from his employees. This model, later adopted globally, became a cornerstone of the modern work culture, laying the groundwork for the rat race. Furthermore, Rockefeller's pursuit of wealth and power was relentless. He once said, "The growth of a large business is merely a survival of the fittest." This Darwinian philosophy, emphasizing competition and survival of the strongest, fueled his business empire's expansion. It also elevated the pursuit of wealth and power as the ultimate measure of success, a notion deeply ingrained in the ethos of the rat race. Rockefeller's legacy continues to influence our perception of success and our participation in the rat race. His story reinforces the idea that success is a result of relentless hard work and competition. This narrative, while inspiring, also fuels the rat race, encouraging us to constantly strive for more wealth, more power, more status. But as we journey further into the maze, we must ask ourselves, is this the only path to success, or are there alternative routes we can explore? As we delve deeper into the labyrinth of the rat race, we'll explore these questions, challenging the status quo and opening our minds to different perspectives. Is the rat race our only path to success? Let's find out. The rat race doesn't just affect our actions, it intrudes our minds. This statement resonates with many of us who constantly feel the pressure to keep moving, keep achieving, and keep competing. But what is the psychological impact of being caught in this relentless pursuit? In the realm of psychology, the rat race is often associated with chronic stress, anxiety, and even depression. Picture this, a maze with no exit where the only option is to keep running. This is the metaphorical landscape of the rat race, and it's a terrain that can be mentally and emotionally taxing. Renowned psychologists have shed light on how this relentless competition for success can take a toll on our well-being. For instance, the psychologist Abraham Maslow, best known for his hierarchy of needs, emphasized the importance of self-fulfillment and personal growth. However, in the rat race, we are often so focused on external achievements that we neglect our internal needs, leading to what Maslow termed self-actualization deficit. Furthermore, a study published in the Journal of Health and Social Behavior highlighted that people who prioritize career success and material gains over relationships and personal growth are more likely to experience mental health issues. The study showed that the pressure to constantly achieve can lead to feelings of isolation, anxiety, and a sense of never being good enough. In the heat of the rat race, our minds can become entangled in a web of constant comparison. Social comparison theory, proposed by social psychologist Leon Festinger, suggests that we have an innate drive to evaluate ourselves in relation to others. In the context of the rat race, this can lead to feelings of inadequacy and dissatisfaction if we perceive others as being more successful. Moreover, the rat race can trigger a phenomenon known as hedonic adaptation. This concept, rooted in positive psychology, refers to our tendency to quickly return to a relatively stable level of happiness despite major positive or negative events or life changes. In the rat race, we may strive for a promotion, a bigger house, or a fancier car, thinking these achievements will make us happier. But once we attain them, our satisfaction quickly fades, and we set our sights on the next goal, trapping us in a never-ending cycle of wanting more. But what if we could break free from this cycle? What if there were alternative paths to tread that prioritize personal fulfillment over relentless competition? As we delve deeper into the labyrinth of the rat race, we'll explore these questions, challenging the status quo and opening our minds to different perspectives. But are there different paths to tread? Let's explore. In the midst of this ceaseless cycle, voices of dissent echo. They rise from the bustling crowd, challenging the status quo, questioning the norms we've come to accept. Modern philosophers, sociologists, and thought leaders have begun to critique the rat race, offering contemporary viewpoints that serve as beacons of change in the blinding whirlwind of the everyday hustle. Philosophers like Alain de Botton argue that our society's obsession with success and status has led to an unhealthy culture of constant competition. This relentless pursuit, he suggests, robs us of the ability to find contentment in our present circumstances. We become so fixated on the future, on the next promotion, the next goal, that we forget to live in the now. Sociologists, too, have taken notice of the detrimental effects of this perpetual rat race. They point out how this culture of competition has seeped into every aspect of our lives, from our education system to our relationships, creating a society that values achievement over empathy, status over solidarity. But amidst these critiques, a new narrative is emerging. A narrative that challenges the traditional 9-to-5 model and offers alternative lifestyles that prioritize personal fulfillment over societal expectations. We see this in the rise of digital nomads, individuals who leverage technology to work remotely, trading office cubicles for beachfront cafes and city commutes for world travel. This lifestyle isn't just about escaping the physical confines of an office, it's about redefining success, measuring it not in promotions or paychecks, but in experiences, relationships, and personal growth. Yet, the alternative lifestyles don't stop there. There's also the tiny house movement, where individuals opt for minimalistic living, choosing smaller, more affordable homes over sprawling suburban mansions. This movement isn't just a response to rising housing costs, it's a deliberate choice to lead a simpler life, one that values experiences over possessions. Then there's the FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early. This approach encourages individuals to save aggressively in their early years, enabling them to retire in their 40s or even 30s. This isn't about shunning work altogether, but about gaining the freedom to pursue passions and interests without the constraints of financial necessity. These alternative lifestyles challenge the narrative that success is a one-size-fits-all concept. They remind us that we have the power to define our own success, to choose our own path, to break free from the wheel of the rat race. The road less traveled often leads to the most exciting destinations. So, as we explore these alternative lifestyles, we must remember that each path offers its own unique challenges and rewards. But perhaps, in stepping off the beaten track, we might find a life that resonates with our deepest desires, a life that is truly our own. Escaping the rat race is not a destination, but a journey. A profound realization, isn't it? Yet it's one that's been echoed by countless individuals who've dared to step off the well-trodden path and forge their own way. Let's consider the story of John. John was a successful lawyer, working long hours, chasing promotions, and living the so-called dream. But he wasn't happy. He felt trapped in a cycle of endless work and fleeting satisfaction. So he made a drastic decision. He quit his job, sold his house, and moved to a small coastal town where he opened a bookstore. He swapped suits for shorts, courtrooms for cozy book nooks. His life, once filled with stress and deadlines, was now brimming with peace and fulfillment. John's journey is not unique, but it's inspiring. Or take the example of Maya. She left her high-paying corporate job to start an organic farm. She traded skyscrapers for greenhouses, board meetings for farm animals. She found her freedom in the earth, her fulfillment in growing things. Maya's journey, much like John's, wasn't easy, but it was liberating. These are just two among the countless stories of individuals who stepped off the hamster wheel, who chose the road less traveled. They found personal freedom and fulfillment not in what society deemed successful, but in what made them happy. They broke free from the societal norms, the expectations, the shoulds, and the musts. Now, it's important to note that escaping the rat race doesn't necessarily mean quitting your job or moving to a new place. It's about escaping the mindset that life is a competition, that success is a destination, that happiness is a byproduct of material wealth. It's about realizing that you are the author of your own life, that you have the power to define your own success, to find your own happiness. Consider Mary, who still works a 9-to-5 job but has found personal freedom in her after-work hours. She paints, she writes, she volunteers at a local shelter. Her job provides her with a steady income, but it's her passions that provide her with fulfillment. Mary is another example of someone who has successfully escaped the rat race, not by changing her job, but by changing her perspective. Escaping the rat race is about embracing the unconventional, the unexpected, the unexplored. It's about daring to dream, daring to disrupt, daring to defy the norms. It's about seeking fulfillment not in what the world tells you to do, but in what you want to do. It's about finding your own path, your own pace, your own peace. It's about choosing the road less traveled. So where does this leave us? Let's conclude. The rat race is not an inescapable trap, but a choice. A powerful realization, isn't it? As we've seen, the rat race is a product of societal evolution, deeply rooted in our history. It's a system that has significant psychological impacts, often leaving us feeling like we're perpetually running in a hamster wheel. However, contemporary views are challenging this. Modern philosophers, sociologists, and thought leaders are advocating for alternative lifestyles that break away from the traditional 9-to-5 model. They remind us that personal freedom and fulfillment can be found outside this race. And yes, it's possible to escape, to carve out your own path. You've heard the stories of those who've done it, who have found their purpose and satisfaction in the road less traveled. So, think about your place in this race, share your thoughts, and remember, the journey is the destination. As we wrap this up, let me leave you with a question. What would you do if you weren't afraid of stepping off the treadmill? Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content.